Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the second day of Frostivus. We added a little minimap into the bottom left corner. Just want to point that out before we get into the whole thing. Let me go ahead and pick Witch Doctor because Witch Doctor is really good and really strong. This is our entry for the Frostivus 2017 custom game contest. It is complete. We have managed to finish it. There are still some bugs and such here and there, but that's just because the deadline was really short. We didn't have that much time. We tried our best. Now, I want to show off the full game today. We're gonna go all the way through. The game is still pretty hard, so we're gonna play in a way that makes it a bit easier. We have the comic in the beginning. Just to briefly explain what's going on there, is Roshan is Santa, basically, and he gets shot out of the sky, and then the heroes decide to put their differences aside and start working towards saving Frostivus together. It's kind of our little storyline. We have music. Music is now fully implemented into the game. Music all original, all custom made for the game. We have, of course, our beautiful, beautiful map. All of the map is handmade, handcrafted by Warp Dragon. Not even just the map, but even a tile set was custom made. We have, of course, all of our original code. Everything is written by us, made by us. We even put Santa hats on the creeps, which, yet again, written by us, made by us. So yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't think we did the hats ourselves. The game is on the Steam Workshop. It is this is the release version. This is what we are submitting for the contest. Hopefully Valve takes this game into consideration. If anybody at Valve is watching this right now, I'm gonna go through the game and I'm going to explain everything that's going on, what is going on, what you're supposed to do. And I also am going to mention some points where I would have liked to continue improving the game, but we simply did not have enough time. There are a lot of points in this game where really it's pretty simple to improve the game. It doesn't take a lot of effort, doesn't take a lot of time. And I feel like if you are seriously considering this game as a winner for the contest, then, you know, these points are the points where you could easily improve it. First point, top left corner. You can see this right here, this quest interface is really not very fabulous. This right here is one of our new features. You can see the lost sleigh part. A part prop loose, returning to the sleigh. So in Act 1, you now have to pick up this lost sleigh part, go back to the sleigh, activate it on the sleigh, and then the sled repairs will continue. The sled repairs will not continue otherwise. The sled repairs will only continue if you return the sleigh. Or the sleigh part. Now, you can see we had 45% right now. Repairs halted. There's another missing part. Find it and return it. So you can see over here to the right side, there's another lost sleigh part. Now, let me briefly explain something about the general base mechanics of this game. You can see there's this endless horde of creeps just rushing us down. The way this works is there is an ebb and flow to it. There will always be more creeps coming, but they're not always coming with the same intensity. Instead, the game kind of detects how stressed out you are, and you can check this in this little interface, which, by the way, very easily commented out if you do not want to have this in the game, right? You just comment it out in the code. That's perfectly understandable if you do, right? But you have this interface. In this interface, you can see some measurements like stress and intensity and all of that. Now, we went ahead and we picked up our lost sleigh part, so we now have to carry this all the way back to the sleigh. We put it on the sleigh, and that will continue the repairs. Now, again, as I was mentioning, the horde comes in an ebb and flow. There are 3 different stages. There's build-up, peak, and rest. In build-up, the game will just... build-up encompasses of various degrees of different stages of the game, right? So build-up can be a wide range of, you know, how many units are coming at you. Rest means no units. Peak means the most. Peak means everything we have. The game will try to kill you by throwing everything at you and try to completely shut you down. Peak, of course, is obviously the most difficult, and I'm explaining this because this will be relevant in later stages of the game to kind of explain the mechanics a little bit more in depth and what's going on there. So currently the repairs are continuing. These little helper dudes right here do repair the sleigh. You can see the status up there. Again, I would have liked to change this interface and make it a bit more pretty, make it a bit more obvious, but there simply wasn't enough time for that. The repair status at certain points will hold, and then the players have to go and collect some items. This is one of our most recent features. If you have seen this game before, then that is something you haven't seen before, very likely at least. The reason why this is in the game is two main reasons. First of all, it makes Act 1, actually 3 main reasons. It makes Act 1 a little bit more interesting, right? Just because there's something to do, players have to split up, players have to make some decisions. When do they go, right? For example, right now seems like a pretty bad time because there's so many creeps coming at us, so if we split up, we'll be quite severely punished. But also, it introduces the idea of gathering parts and then returning them to a location, which is something that is an essential part of the game in later stages, and something that I really do want to have established, because it does matter that players know that this is something they will have to do. The sleigh part is over here. We have 3 possible locations where the sleigh parts can spawn. These are, however, decided at random. So you cannot just, go there and camp it out. Part of this game is meant to be speedrunning, right? Like the game is meant to be speedrunnable, something where you can really try your hardest to be fast and, the best. But we didn't want to make it too easy, right? If we make it too easy, then that's not fun. So these lost sleigh parts are in random locations, and you have to just kind of wait until they show up, until you go gather them. Of course, you can be faster if you just split up and cover all 3, but that's gonna make it really difficult, and that's exactly what I was going for. Now let me go ahead and go back here and put the lost sleigh part in really quick. The third reason why we did this is to delay advancement to Act 2 a little bit. So there's 4 different acts, right? 4 different acts, which is quite a bit. And I didn't wanna make it so that players get through them too quickly, because it makes the game a little bit easier, but also mostly because there was an awkward timing at the beginning of Act 2. Previously, if you got to Act 2 at the absolute fastest pace possible, you got there just when Wave 2 of the Horde was about to peak, and as I explained earlier, at peak, the game will throw everything it has at you to try and kill you. That makes it a bit awkward, right? We don't really want that. We want players to get into Act 2 being able to actually kind of play. Alright, we've got a behemoth coming in. Hello, my tank. Boom! The big slam. Does quite a bit of damage. We're gonna go ahead and throw this down and burst him. Easy peasy. Yeah, it doesn't stand much of a chance. This is kind of why I'm playing Witch Doctor here. Oh, nice, a pull staff. We do have special drops from tanks. Now, the way items work in this game is, as you progress through, right, as time passes, the game will drop your items, and they become more and more powerful the longer you are in the game, right? So in minute 1, you'll drop stuff like Gloss of Haste and some belts of strength, and at minute 25, you'll drop hearts and radiances and battle of furies, right? The most powerful things only come really late. So now we're in Act 2. We have to find these lost presents. Pole Staff is one of our boss-specific special items. So if you kill a tank, and there's a total of 5 tanks in the game, then you will get a special item. This special item can only be gotten from a tank. There's no other way to get it. Well, there are, I think, 8 different special items. So any of the special items can only be gotten from a tank. But they can only be gotten from a tank, right? But if you do get them, then you get something cool, right? Like, that was the idea. You kill a tank, you kill one of the scary bosses, and you get a cool little item. Now, these are all very powerful, and they all kind of serve their own special, unique purpose. The pull staff is actually one of my favorite ones. So what is pull staff? Pull staff is just click on a guy and pull it in, right? Like, no matter who it is, can be a teammate, can be an enemy, just pulls them in from quite a while away too, right? It has a long cast range. So it serves a few purposes. If your enemies ever surround one of your teammates, you can just pull them to safety. Or And this one I find much more interesting. If you have to deal with long-range enemies like the Spitters, the Venomancers that are everywhere, then all you have to do is try to pull them out with the pole staff, right? You pay attention, you wait until you get an opportunity, and then you pull them to safety. Oh, well, not to safety, then you pull them into their doom. Actually, the exact opposite. You get the idea. So this is Act 2. In Act 2, Roshan flies around. We've added in animations for him, which I think are super cute. I think they're like really, really cool. And they, you know, I don't know, they add a lot. But you fly around and you have to collect 40 presents. Now, there are 3 ways to get presents. There are, I believe, 70 presents just scattered around the map in random locations. They are never in the same spot. They are completely random. And the reason why there are 70 of those is because a lot of them get lost in trees and all of that. So in theory, you know, you could finish this just by gathering up the presents that are on the floor. But that's going to take you a while because they can be pretty tricky to find at times. The second way you get presents is by killing creep camps that are in these circles, right? So there's a total of, I believe, 7 creep camps that spawn in these circles, but there are 13 different circles. So they are also randomized. They're always in different locations. Adds a lot of variety into the game, right? So you don't always know exactly where to go, but you have a rough idea of where you can go and what kind of route you can take to maximize your chances of getting these presents quickly. But if you kill one of those camps, you will get 5 presents for it, which is quite a bit. And the last way is this tank down here. This tank is pretty powerful, and you don't want to take it on too early. But if you kill this tank, you will get 10 presents and a tank item. Alright. Those 10 presents, of course, are secure. You will always get them, and the tank always spawns in that location. Right, so that is entirely reliable and guaranteed. However, you still gotta take on a tank. Now, if you are playing just casually and you just want to beat the game, like we are doing right here, we are not speedrunning by any means, right? We're in fact taking it very slow, deliberately very slow, so we get through and so we get all the way through and I can actually show you the game properly. Then, in that case, well, you are not really in a hurry to get through this. You don't really need to get to the tank right away, and you can just go through, gather up the presents, and be happy. Alright, and we'll see, is there a camp up here? Yes, you see, this is one of those creep camps, so we're gonna go ahead and just activate this. And stun them. Right, and then well, you can take them down pretty easily, especially in a quiet moment like this. Right, then they aren't all that scary. We get 2 cask bounces, I guess. Oh, nice, an orchid. Not necessarily a witch doctor item, I would say, but definitely an item that gives me a lot of mana regeneration. And that's something I'm kind of looking for. Alright. Got a bunch of presents being carried by everybody, which is nice. Usually people like to make it... let me try that sentence again. Usually people like to have a dedicated present carrier, so they have one player that carries all of them. Right here we're splitting it up a little bit, but that's fine. As you can see, we have different music for Act 2, so Act 2 is meant to be a little bit spookier. To explain the storyline, in Act 1, the heroes decide to rescue Roshan and help him repair his sleigh. In Act 2, they go into the nearby forest where Roshan lost all of his presents. He was carrying a lot of presents, and now he needs help gathering them up again so he can go and deliver them to the people that actually deserve them. So you can see right here I'm pulling in that Venomancer to make sure that we can kill him very easily. Right, but we want to deliver the presents so that all the good boys and good girls get their presents for Frostivus. Alright, let me get that. We're gonna just go ahead and drop an ultimate and clear this out really quick. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Oh, nice. A lot more presents here. Who's carrying them? I really don't want to drop an item just so I can carry presents. That seems unnecessary, especially since we do already have people carrying them. Alright. But the music in Act 2 is a little bit spookier, a little bit creepier. You have low vision. You can see the dense forest vision reduced to 600 units. You don't see very much. The map is dark. The creeps are always like surrounding you, coming out from different locations, out of this hidden forest, you know. So It's supposed to be a little bit more of a spooky, creepy face, while still supposed to retain, you know, that Christmas feeling, which is why we have those kind of candy cones and that kind of nonsense, and you're gathering up presents. Something that I think is important in the context of the game is I really tried to research what Frostivus is, right? Because I thought that saying, well, Frostivus is Christmas, right, is probably not very accurate, right? Like, Frostivus is a little different from... Oh, come in here. Yeah, the kickers can be a little quirky at times, but usually that's fine. Somebody has a force staff or a blink dagger or something. No, not a blink dagger, but like a blink ability. So it's usually fine to get them out, and it doesn't happen that often. But the thing is that, you know, I didn't want to just be like, hey, well, it's Christmas, so we're gonna just make everything Christmas and we're just gonna make it snow. Right? Like, we're gonna make it be snow. No, I did research into what Frostivus is, and I came to the conclusion that Frostivus is a lot about truce, right? Because Dota is in this constant war. That's the Dota lore, right? That the two Mad Moons are always fighting, or always making everybody else fight. They don't really have any control over it. Another thing I noticed is that in Frostivus, in the context of Frostivus, there has been various attempts at Frostivus before, I suppose, but it has never really actually come through. Like, people wanted Frostivus, but they didn't quite manage to actually have it because somebody always cancelled it. So the storyline for our game is, okay, it is a truce, right? The heroes are doing what they always do, but then they see that Roshan, Santa, right, kind of gets hurt while trying to make Frostivus happen. So the Radiant and the Dire decide to... Let's go kill the tank, just because it's kind of fun. So the Radiant and the Dire decide to group up and work together, put their differences aside, to let Frostivus actually happen, and to make sure that this time it will not be cancelled, and that this time we are going to actually have Frostivus, and we'll experience this. And we have, you know, like the two sides, well, actually three sides, putting their differences aside, forming a truce, forming like a trusting situation, where Roshan, the Dire, and the Radiant are all working together to make sure that they prevent Frostivus from getting cancelled a third time. That's our storyline. And that is also what I tried to, like, show in the design, right? In the design and the gameplay of the game as much as possible. Anyway, let's go ahead and deliver these presents and go into the next act. We're gonna just go ahead and head over there. Oh, Sniper is really slow. Yeah, if you carry too many presents, you get slowed quite a bit. But don't worry, I got this. I can pull them in, no problem. Now, the Horde does grow, by the way. It does become quite powerful over time. I have personally handcraft balanced, I don't know, like, I balanced these Hordes individually, every wave, by hand, over countless of hours, just trying my best to make sure that they are all at an adequate level of challenge, while also being manageable and beatable. I did the same thing for all of the special units. Again, everything in the game in terms of balance was carefully handcrafted and hand balanced to make sure that the game is challenging but difficult. Another cool thing in that regard is that this game actually self-adjusts its balance. The more time you take, which means the worse you are, the slower you are, the easier the game becomes. So somebody that isn't very good should be able to get through the game and beat the game simply by virtue of spending a lot of time getting through the various acts. Here we go into Act 3. We have managed to gather up all of the presents. Roshan tells them to hop on. They get onto the sleigh and they go into town. They throw the presents in and then they get attacked. So they decide to protect Roshan while Roshan goes on a sled through the town. Who's got, by the way, nice little animations. I really like them, right? Where he actually goes and he throws presents into the houses. There you go. Wait, no. He does it sometimes. He doesn't feel like doing it right now. But, yeah, no. He throws presents into the houses and delivers them that way. It is a payload section, so you have to be within the circle to make sure to that you actually push the sleigh along so Roshan can deliver the presents. There we go. Thank you, Roshan. Thank you, Roshan. Thanks for coming through for us. Oh, there's a Monkey King by here. Now we want to look at getting some different items here. I don't think we really need an Ether Lance. Oh, the Soul Cross sounds nice, actually. I would like that additional armor. You know, we do have a good amount of physical damage as well with the Death Ward. So that's pretty important. Now, I've talked about ways to improve the game, right? So, this right here is one of the places where I think it's very simple to just make the game a little bit better by making it more obvious that the circle is a payload. I saw some people really struggle with the idea of, hey, what am I supposed to do here? Like, you know, people don't really get that they are supposed to be in the circle, and they will often wonder why this is taking very long. A way to improve upon that is, in my opinion, would be to just kind of have like maybe another quest interface that like shows, hey, so this many people are pushing the sleigh right now. Another idea I had is to make the circle change in color, depending on what the depending on how many people are inside of it, right? So it becomes a little bit more obvious that you're supposed to be in the circle, right? Oh, these creeps are starting to get quite powerful. What wave are we on? Wave 8. Ooh, scary. Yeah, at this stage, these neutrals, not neutrals, but these Greevils become terrifying. That's for sure. An Octarine core. Do I want that? I'm not too keen. I think I'll be fine without it. Now, other ways that I would like to improve this game. So, I think there are some visual things that definitely could be changed and made better. Just mostly minor things. I'm very happy with the balance. I think the balance is pretty much on point. I wouldn't really want to change that too much. As you can see, we're doing pretty well right now, but this is when we are deliberately trying to, you know, get through so we can showcase the entire game and play it slow. I'm also playing with a bunch of people that have played this game before and know what to do. And in that context, I think the game is absolutely manageable. But if you playtest this yourself, or you have, you know, people that play it for the first time, you will see that the game is in fact quite difficult, especially for newcomers. They will struggle a lot. But the response I have often gotten is that people are like, oh, it is tough, yes, but it is a lot of fun to like get better at it, right? This right here is the first Act 3 break. Now, Act 3 is sadly mildly incomplete. I would have liked Act 3 to have 3 breaks. It currently only has 2. Oh, this guy's scary, yeah. This is a tank right here. As we mentioned earlier, the tanks are the strongest units in the game, apart from the final act, right? But we managed to get through him quite nicely, and we go back to pushing. Now, I would have liked there to be another break here, and we wanted to put one in. You can see we have put the same kind of environment that we have up here into that section of the game, but we just did not have the time to actually put in the proper features, I suppose. It ended up being a little bit quirky, a little bit buggy, and so we decided against it. Please excuse me. I'm very sorry. But yeah. So, that's something that I would have liked to do a little bit differently. Oh, we got a siege mode. Well, we shouldn't give that to me. We should give that to the sniper. The sniper will benefit greatly from that. It's one of the custom items in the game, right? We have self-made custom items, a few. And then a bunch of Siltbreaker items is another thing we put in. The self-made custom items are about 50%, I would say. So it's not all our stuff. It's about 50-50. Here we go. This is the second intermission in Act 3. This part, you fight 2 tanks as well as the horde peeking for the entire duration of the fight. And this is one of the big things about these intermissions, is that the horde is peeking. Right, the horde is constantly peeking. Usually a peak of a horde lasts about, I don't know, 15-20 seconds, something like that. It changes, but not very long. And at this stage it can last much longer than that. Right, but we got through it very cleanly. We killed both of the tanks. And, oh, we have a disconnect. That's very unfortunate. Well, let's just hope that he comes back. The game is absolutely non-demanding on computers. We deliberately made sure that the game always cleans up after itself, so you can see we are constantly spawning creeps, hordes over enemies, but they always getting deleted out of the cache. They are always, like, the game cleans up after itself really nice. We spend a lot of time making sure that that is the case. The game is very non-demanding, even with all of the, like, custom skins and all of that in the game, like these houses. Anybody can run it, right? Anybody can run it. It is so well optimized that, in fact, basically anybody can host it, right? As long as your internet connection can handle it, anybody can host, not just run. And that is, I think, like, pretty noteworthy as well. Anyway, we're about to finish the payload section, and then we go into Act 3. Oh shit, we didn't. Somebody dropped that van of the brine on the floor. Now, this is one thing I would also like to say. We have these comics right here. The comic isn't very beautiful. It's not very beautifully implemented. I wish it was. I wish the comic was better made. I wish the implementation was better made. And that is something that, simply speaking, you know, would be nice if this game does get selected that you could do. Anyway, this right here is the final boss fight. You go up against Io. Io is the big bad evil guy. Mostly because we just wanted a boss fight at the end, but we didn't really know who it should be, and Io seemed kind of funny, so we went with Io. Anyway, Io is pretty terrifying. He is very powerful. Gonna go over here and resurrect this sniper really quick. He has a whole bunch of abilities, as you can see. He has a lot of them. He will use them randomly, and as you go through the game, oftentimes he will start stacking them, right? So he has various phases. As you drop him lower in HP, he will change phases and will start being more scary. And the phases, you know, means his abilities become more powerful, and also he will start stacking more and more of them. Right? Early on, he will maybe throw 1 or 2 of them at you at once. Right? So you have some time to learn and figure out what they do. And then as you go through, he will just start tossing them, right? This right here is one of his big ones. This one is absolutely terrifying. There's a ton of damage. You have a nice health bar up there. This would be another feature that I think is easily improved by just making that health bar prettier. This right here, by the way, is one of his abilities that I think could also be changed a bit. It's not very visual what it does, but you have to go into the green circles and then you don't take damage. I know it's not fantastic in that regard. The visualization isn't very good, but it's just like very simple work. It's something that we would have done if we just had a little bit more time. Let me go and get this in there. Start beating him up. Oh, nice. He didn't blink too far away. Alright, we're gonna get a lot of damage in. Witch Doctor is amazing at this part of the game, simply because he has access to Maledict. You know, the healing is very powerful. Oh no, we both got stunned. Alright, we're gonna go then. Gonna go ahead and resurrect our sniper here. Oh shit. Okay. We gotta get out of there. Thank you. Now, about this IO, why are we using IO for this? Well, it's partially because I thought it would be fun to use IO, right? Like, who uses IO for a boss fight? Not very many people. And it's also partially because I wanted to kind of challenge what we had to do in terms of design and make it a bit difficult on us by making it so that our final boss of the game doesn't really get to attack. Right? One of the things that I see a lot of games do when they are making bosses is that they are just simple right-clickers and they don't really have much in terms of abilities other than various right-click abilities. And personally, I don't find that very engaging, very interesting. So to kind of go against that standard of design, I made it so that we have Io as our final boss. And that gives us the situation where really making him be a right-clicker is incredibly unnatural and doesn't feel very nice. And so by imposing that limitation of making an interesting fight, or making a fight for a final boss that doesn't attack regularly, I think we have managed to create a fight that is very, very interesting, right? Like it's quite different from other boss fights you will see. Go ahead and resurrect this guy. Yeah, it kind of sucks that the Legion commander left. The game is meant to be played with 5 people, and really just 5 people, right? Like no more, no less. 5 people. That's what it's balanced for. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh, he just blinked away. Yes, he's coming back into it. Ah, damn it! I got stunned. Thank you. You can kill these. It takes forever. This is definitely like a little balance thing where these should die much quicker. Alright, you get out of there, Tiny. Go ahead and do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead and apply this. Just gonna keep fighting. Our sniper keeps dying. I think the guy doesn't quite understand what's going on or something, but... Come on, man. Ooh, shit. Alright, resurrect him right here. We're still fine, we're still fine. Witch Doctor, 1.5% maximum health voodoo restoration. That's the real MVP right there. Like, that is good stuff. Go ahead and add this in. You may need to nerf hard, yes. That is actually another one of those things that I would have liked to get done before the deadline passes, but we were working up. Like, we were working on this game right until the very last second of the deadline. We were trying so hard to get everything done. And would we have liked to make it so that hard is disabled by this boss? Absolutely. Absolutely. But that just didn't quite happen in time. Oh, this is bad. Ooh, luckily we do have healing. Yeah. Hard is a very rare drop in the game. It drops only on very rare occasions. I think it is actually the rarest item you can get. Oh, shit. No, stop stunning me, man. Ah. Okay, can we resurrect him? Gotta bring our team back right here, you know. Okay, I'm gonna wait for a blink. Because he will blink. Then I'll pull him in. Oh no, he interrupted me. Okay. Oh no. This right here is his egg form. It's supposed to be a DPS race. Where you have to go up against, you know, him having that. And you having to get through the egg. The problem is that we are only 4 players, and also our highest, like, right-clicking DPS, like, hero, our best right-clicking hero was dead at the time. Making this quite tricky. Okay. Yes, resurrect me, please. Nice. Of course, there's custom music for this as well, right? Okay. Gotta resurrect again. Always resurrecting. Where's the sniper at? Oh, he's dead. Again. Huh. Don't even know where he went. Okay. We seem to appear to have lost the sniper. I don't know where he ran off to. Oh, down there. So we didn't actually lose him. The guy just kind of disappeared on us. Oh, no. Oh, that was nasty. Okay. Alright. No, you come here. Okay, let me just really try to get that Maledict going. Like, it's all about the Maledict. Maledict can't be purged. Dodge that, dodge that. Ooh. We gotta get that sniper back. Oh shit, I'm out. Ah, it's just the Tiny left. Yeah, I don't think the Tiny can actually really die here. He is in very good shape. Now, let me just go ahead and say this as well. It is very, very, very simple to make this guy break hard. Right? Like, it takes about 2 minutes to do that. But as I mentioned, we were working on this up until the very last minute. Alright. Okay. Let me go ahead and resurrect this guy. So this guy is just very tanky. Even got a BKB. Interesting choice, but hey, if it works. Ah! Every time, man. Every time. You gonna get him? No. We really gotta get the sniper back. This would be a lot easier if we just had our DPS dude. And he stayed alive for like 15 seconds at a time. Oh, is he doing an egg? Damn it. Oh, I'm out again. Oh no. Tiny. Tiny, just drop the heart, man. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. We didn't make it. We tried our hardest, but this really came down to the Legion Commander disconnecting, right? Like, I'm very sorry about that. But you saw the fight. That's how the fight goes down. And Frostivus has been cancelled. If we win, it says Frostivus has been saved, but that sadly didn't happen today. We weren't able to pull through, and I didn't want to spend another 20 minutes here trying to win something, you know, that's meant to be 5 versus 1 as 4 versus 1. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it, right? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a rating. And somebody is watching this that has any input on the Frostivus custom game contest. If you have any questions, you wanna, you know, or any feedback, I don't know. You know, you can contact me, I'll respond. Look, I'm just really hopeful. Like, we put a lot of time into this. I'm very proud of it. I think it's a good game, and I hope you liked it too. I'll see you guys tomorrow.